Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for coming today to our presentation on the topic of beginning and growing your career in the field of education with Alameda County Office of Education. My name is Miriam Meadow. I'm with Oakland Public Library, and I run the Oakland Has Jobs Instagram page and do employment support efforts through the library. I'll drop a couple of resource links in the chat that you can take a look at in your own time. I'm so pleased today to welcome representatives from Alameda County Office of Education's Pathways team who have a great presentation for us to share. Mark, Carlos, Ashley, and Juan, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be a part of this meeting today and hoping that we can share our programs with you and that they are aligned with your professional and educational goals.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Riscala, Pre-Credential Program Director. So primarily I support people who have a bachelor's degree who are navigating how to get into teacher credential programs. And these are our two supervisors right here, Sarah Glassband and Jarrett Austin Thomas, who both are not here today, but just wanted to let you know that they're part of the team and they've got their contact information there as well. And I'll pass it to Carlos.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. My name is Carlos Santana. I'm the Apprenticeships Program Manager here at ACOE. I was a former teacher. We're actually all former teachers, but I taught fourth and fifth grade, worked in Oakland in the recruitment and retention team, and now I support high school students and also Project Para in entry-level pathways here. Yeah, nice to meet you all and looking forward to connecting with you. And I'm going to pass it to the next person, Juan.
Hey, that's me. Good morning, everyone. My name is Juan Macias. I am a career guide here with the Alameda County Office of Education. Like Carlos, I was also working for Oakland Unified for 3 years as a school educator at Allendale Elementary. So if you guys are familiar with Allendale Elementary, I was working there as a engineering technology elementary teacher. Fun little project, but now I help folks like yourself, right, that want to get into the field of education or grow in the field of education, supporting you in either getting you into our para projects, a classified staff role, or a credentialing teachers credentialing program. So, yeah, good morning, and I'm gonna pass it on to Ashley.
Thanks so much, Juan, and hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Knight Taylor. I also serve as a career guide here at Alameda County Office of Education. And just like Juan mentioned, helping those who are either interested in starting their career in education or expanding their career in education. We have various programs that we will be talking about just in a few moments. Also, too, my background is preschool. So early childhood education, I saw some folks put in the chat that that is their interest area. So looking forward to connecting with you. We're going to have a one-on-one session after we finish the program. So definitely want to make sure that we connect with you all. Thanks so much, Carlos. I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks. The expertise is in the room, and wherever you are at, and wherever you are starting, we welcome you, and we hope to support you into your next step into a career in education. It is definitely our passion on our team, and so we are here for you, and we are a resource for you. So again, just a quick little welcome. Thank you so much for those who have shared in the chat already. But really, we want to get to know a little bit more about you, your name, what brings you to our session today. Shout out to those who like put Lords. I love Lords. That's like one of my favorite ice cream spots. But please share your favorite ice cream and also just yeah, a little bit more about yourself. We have a lot more in common than you think. So I'm just gonna give a little bit, maybe for those who haven't had the opportunity yet. I might not give a full 2 minutes, but just giving another minute or so, just so we could get to know a little bit more about you, and also so our team can kind of scan the chat and just making sure that we kind of cover our bases for today. I see that some are just interested in general education. CTE, it's awesome. Um, New career path, beautiful. Teaching aid, Berkeley, perfect. The certified wellness coach, excellent. Um, Beautiful expanding careers. Do see a lot of Fenton. Shout out to Fenton's.
Mm.
Yes. A lot of growth. I love to see that. uh, Forever students. So welcome. Welcome. So all right. And as Ashley mentioned, like at the end, if we do not cover your questions, or maybe something you want us to go more in depth with, we're gonna have some breakout rooms at the end of our presentation, and we can have that one-on-one time to really delve deeper into maybe some of our programs here. And so, do I have this, Ashley, or do you have this one?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks so much, Carlos. So this is going to be a targeted info session where we're going to be focusing on the programs that are currently open, which means the applications are open. But we also wanted to share all of the programs that we offer here at Alameda County Office of Education, which you can see on the box where it says P.A.T.H programs. Once we complete our session today, we will be sending out the entire presentation. So you'll have a chance to look over all of the programs as well as use those clickable links to check on their websites and resources. As you'll see, we have our Alameda County Early Childhood Workforce Pathways Program. This is supporting individuals who are currently working in the ECE setting, and they're looking to receive potential financial stipends that we can support. We also have several credentialing programs as well, which includes internship, residency, and our CTE. Mark is going to talk more a little bit about that. We have a school counselor residency program. So if you're interested in becoming a school counselor, we can support you in that as well. Again, we're going to cover the programs that are currently open, but you'll see on the right that you can click on these links and you'll have access to look through all the programs. Thanks, Carlos.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. Um, And so some of the pathway programs that we're going to be delving deeper into today kind of is a few different pockets. So we'll go into Project Para, which is an entry pathways program. It's a training program where we support you, members of the community, to be prepared to step into a para-educator role, which also expands into expanded learning, which could be before and after school programs, early childhood, adult education. So there's a lot of, that's just one of our projects. We'll also be going into a bachelor advancement program here where we support you in getting you a bachelor's degree in a recognized field. So liberal studies, early childhood studies, and in some cases, we do partner with Cal State East Bay as well. And then Mark will go into the pre-credential kind of what do I do after having a bachelor's degree? How do I get into a teacher or any of those credentialed or certificated positions in the districts that we serve? Also, just before we go into some of our programs, we are Alameda County, and so we do serve a huge area in our in the Bay Area. And so as north as Albany, as south as Fremont, and as east as Livermore. So we do cover a wide range of cities and areas. And so this is not just exclusive to one city or school district. It's actually inclusive of all of our districts and of all of our districts here. So I'm going to go into Project Para and kind of the additional supports that do come into it. It is a paid training program to become a paraprofessional. Now we want to serve our students holistically. And so a paraprofessional role is supporting students with identified learning needs from preschool all the way up into adult education. But they have the same minimum qualifications as maybe an after-school program, like an expanded learning program or in early childhood. So this is definitely a great way to enter into education, learn more about the school day and what works within a school, and then really, springboard into a career that you might want to pursue. And so we have two different types of programs. I'm going to go over them. And so the Para Institute, it's an intensive 5-week paid training program to help participants become qualified paraprofessionals. Right now, the applications for the fall 2026 are currently open. Just as a side note, our application does close this Friday at 5 o'clock. So if you are interested in interviewing, please apply as soon as possible. We will send the application with this um, presentation. So just be on the lookout. I'll also put it in the chat at the end. And if you have any questions, we'll have a breakout room kind of talking about what that might look like. And so our applications are open for the fall. Some of the highlights for the Parent Institute, because it is a 5-week, 9 to 3 program, there is a $3,000 stipend upon completion of the program. We do prepare you for the Code SP exam, which is an exam thank you, Juan, for putting it in the chat. It's an exam that is needed as a minimum requirement for those who do not have an AA degree or above. And so the Code SP is pretty much an exam accepted by a majority of our school districts to be eligible to apply for a para position. We do support with that. We have power hours, we do test prep support, and we host the test on site so that you are prepared to go into a para role with that done. We also provide CPR certification, and so CPR first aid for adult and pediatrics. That is included within the 5-week paid training program. Taught by myself, Juan, and Ashley, who are trained to teach CPR and first aid. We do support with job search support for district employment. So having that application support, resume support, all that type of support to get you in front of hiring teams and hiring managers at school districts so that you are prepared, interview and ready to go and get hired by the end of our 5-week program. And then we continue to provide career guidance and goal planning. So we support with making sure that, okay, well, what's the next step, right? It doesn't just stop here. How do we get you to the next step, the next goal, and how do we, have a career in education? And so we support with that. Now, we do have a Path to Para program. So that Para Institute's a 5-week program. The Path to Para is a 12-week paid training program, maybe for those who are already working professionals transitioning into education. So it's the same application that we have for Para Institute, but the really big difference is that Path to Para is once a week on Tuesdays between 4:30 to 4:30 to 7:30, where you get the job readiness, you get the content, the test prep support, the resume and cover letter support, and that application guidance. This one does have an incentive of $1,000 for attendance and placement. Don't One is 9 to 3 every day for a month, a little bit over a month. This one is once a week. So there is a little bit less of a time commitment, and that's why it's reflected in the stipend. But the goal is the same, getting you hired, getting you prepared, ready to go into a para role or an expanded learning or early childhood role once you complete the program. So what is Project Para intended for? It's intended for individuals who are not currently employed full-time as a paraeducator in a school district because it is a preparation program. We want to prepare you for entering the role. The application, as I mentioned, is this Friday, August 7th at 5 p.m. And then if you would like to apply, there's a tiny URL on this slide, but also just put it in the chat. There are a few questions. It is an application process. And then starting in the coming weeks, we will actually invite you for an interview on site here in our county office in Hayward. And then we'll see if you move forward based on that. So just know that if you are interested, please apply by this Friday at 5 p.m. We do have a hard cutoff at that time. And then just kind of go over like the additional path support systems. Let's say, this is ongoing and we have this throughout the year, whether you are in Project Para, pre-credential, BA advancement, we support our community by these 3 things. So application support, if you are ready to go and want to jump into an application for a school district, we host application support sessions. Sometimes in your community, we just actually had one at the Fremont Library last Friday, but we kind of circulate around the Bay and we also host some here on site. Really, it's that one-on-one, personalized guidance and support to get you through the application process. We host Power Hour, again, outside of Project Para or outside of all of our programs, if you are interested in taking that assessment on your own, our county office does host that assessment. We do host Power Hour, which is a tutoring session designed specifically for the Code SP exam, which supports you in English instruction and math instruction. And then we have that one-on-one career guidance. Ashley and Juan have helped countless educators to get to wherever they're at, and whether they're entry level to credential to sometimes even like admin credential, like they're our career guides, and they really support that career guidance wherever you may be and taking that first step as an educator. So again, these links will be sent to you, but we'll have that one-on-one support breakout rooms later on today. All right. I'll pass it to my team member for the Bachelor's Advancement Program.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank Oh,
Go ahead, Juan.
yeah, I think we're starting off with the Reach BA program. So, yeah, our Bachelor's Advancement program. Really, our Bachelor's Advancement program, we're in partnership with two universities to offer a low-cost, affordable bachelor's degree program. Starting off with Reach University, which is really designed for career builders in education, social services, or other fields. It's a flexible BA program for you if you are currently working in the field of education as either classroom support, early childhood educator, paraprofessional, instructional aide, somewhere in the classroom where you're working at least 15 hours a week. And it helps you get into our BA program with Reach to offer a low cost bachelor's program of about $900 a year, which breaks down to $75 a month for the year. So, if you are interested in obtaining your bachelor's degree, if you're already working in our schools and you're looking to take that next step in getting in our BA program, feel free to click some of these links right here. The application for the Bachelor's Advancement Program is constantly rolling, so it's open for the fall and spring. So I think we're going to be getting ready to open up the applications for spring very soon. And yeah, and this degree is primarily focused in liberal studies. So if you're somebody that like, hey, I want to be an educator and I want to teach elementary, liberal studies is the perfect degree that aligns with the multiple subjects elementary credential. So if that sounds like you and you're interested in getting your BA in liberal studies, this would be a great program for you. Yeah. And I think the next slide will give you a little more details. Yeah, it would be either a 2-year, 3-year, or 4-year program, depending on what transferable units you might be transferring over if you have already attended college before. So, for some cases, like we have folks that have an associate's degree, right? And they want to transfer over and complete their bachelor's degree with Reach. So they can transfer up to 2 years, and that will put them on a 2-year pathway. Um, Unfortunately, if you do have over 2 years of college transferable units, Reach can only take up to 2 years. So, if you do have more than 2 years, unfortunately, like you will only be put on the 2-year pathway. So, yeah. And as I mentioned, it is a low cost of $75 a month. You do have to have a position that allows you to work at least 15 hours per week in a classroom setting. When you break that down, right, that's basically about 2 days, maybe 3 days at most, working in a classroom setting. So if you're working part-time in a classroom, maybe 3 days of the week, then you probably qualify for this program already. Um, it allows up to 2 years of prior college credits to transfer, as I mentioned. And the application is open today, August, or it just opened yesterday, August 3rd. So for the spring of 2027. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna put my email on the chat, and you can connect with me or you can connect with Ashley, and we'll help you get into this bachelor's advancement program.
Thanks so much, Juan. This is our early childhood education pathway. If you're interested in earning your bachelor's degree in early childhood education, we are excited about our new partnership with Advanced College. Advanced College is a accredited institution that is designed to support current ECE workers who are looking to advance in their career as a early childhood educator. We're going to talk a little bit more about what that program entails in the next slide. So very similar to the REACH program, this is a program that is again designed to meet students where they are that are focused on early childhood education. So with this degree program, you will be earning your bachelor's degree in early childhood education. Another cool factor about Advance is that they also offer a bachelor's degree in early childhood education completely in Spanish, which means that you can take those courses, they'll be completely in Spanish, and you'll still earn that bachelor's degree. With the advanced program, you will need to be working in an ECE setting. So whether that is a preschool, California State preschool, or working with the school district or a childcare center, it has to be a licensed and accredited institution. Also, too, you'll need to be working at least 15 hours in that setting per week. The tuition, with Advance, they're very intentional about creating a low cost tuition for their students. I'm happy to share that all of the participants of the Advance program, they have completed their degrees without any cost. Advance works with multiple organizations that offer grants. So the idea is that you're completing your bachelor's degree with little to no debt. The application period is currently open for spring 2027. I believe it closes in November. So if you are interested in working with the littles 0 to 5, or you're currently working in a preschool setting and you're interested in earning your bachelor's degree in early childhood education, I highly encourage you, once you get the slide deck, to take a moment to review the program details. And if you have any additional questions, we're here just to support you. We'll also be sharing a little later that we're offering a bachelor's degree, a bachelor's advancement registration party, which will allow you to come into ACOE and we'll support you with completing the application to ensure that you're ready to start your journey to earning your bachelor's degree. Thanks, Carlos.
Great.
And then also we're going to talk about our classified grant that can just financially support you as you're earning your bachelor's degree as well as your teaching credential. So this is our classified grant. This is a grant that is an annual grant where you can receive $4,512 towards earning your bachelor's degree and or your preliminary teaching credential. So this application is a rolling application. There is no deadline. One of the requirements to be able to receive the classified grant is that you have at least 60 college units. Or you have your associate's degree. Once you have shared the necessary documentation, then we'll go ahead to process that grant. And what that looks like is 2,500 goes directly to the institution. So that would support with the tuition obligation. And then 2012 is going to go directly to you as your living stipend. And you can use that however you see fit, whether that's for any living expenses, tuition, books. Again, it's totally up to you. Again, this is just another offering that Alameda County is being very intentional about to support you and help you on your journey to becoming an educator. And the great thing about the classified grant is that you can start off with the grant in our bachelor's advancement program. Once you earn your degree, you can also apply for that grant again as you're going to earn your teaching credential. Also, another caveat of the classified grant is that you will have to currently be a classified staff within Alameda County school district or institution, or in a former classified staff in the last 3 years. So these are two of the requirements that would potentially allow you to be eligible to receive the grant. Again, this is a rolling application. Once we send out that slide deck, you'll have access to apply. We highly encourage you to apply. This grant is going to continue until the funds run out. So we definitely want to be a support to our Alameda County community members. Well, thank you so much, Carlos.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the pre-credential program. So we've now heard about the Project Para program, right, which is a great entry pathway to be able to get into the field of education. And then we talked about the Bachelor's Advancement program, which is a great way to be able to move into a bachelor's degree and get that. And so the pre-credential program is designed to support participants who have a bachelor's degree who are navigating the path to getting into a teacher credentialing program. So this includes thinking about what are the requirements to get into teacher credential programs, and then actually transcript review to help you meet subject matter competency, CSETs, things like that. Okay. Thanks, Carlos. So first, I just kind of want to briefly talk about the types of credentials that exist for you to become a credentialed teacher in California. So the most common credentials that we're going to talk about are here found on this slide. So the first one is a multiple subjects credential, which allows you to teach general education in elementary schools, anywhere from transitional kindergarten through fifth grade. The next one is a PK through 3 credential, which allows you to teach uh, general education for pre-K through third grade. And then you have single subject credentials, which allow you to teach general education in middle schools or high schools for a specific subject area. So this is, imagine that you want to become a high school English teacher, right? So you would get a single subject English language arts credential, or you might teach a specific subject area in an elementary school, right? So you might be the PE teacher for an entire elementary school or the art teacher for an entire elementary school. Then we have special education credentials. So this is teaching students and case managing for students with diverse learning needs, right? This is separated by category: mild, moderate support needs, extensive support needs, early childhood special education. And then finally, we'll talk about career technical education credentials just a bit, which is where you're teaching a specific vocation or industry field to a group of students, and the qualifications are typically based on your own industry experience in that field, right? So, let's say you've been in construction for 5 years, 10 years, right? And you want to teach a construction class. Um, there are opportunities for that, right? And the way that you would be able to do that is through a CTE credential. Okay. Typically, there are three main pathways to become a teacher in California. Um, The first is a traditional pathway. Those aren't currently offered through ACOE, but you could find programs like that at Cal State East Bay, San Jose State, SF State, Berkeley. So a traditional pathway is where you do student teaching and you're a full-time student. Um, you have placements in student teaching at a local school, but it's not necessarily for the entire year. The second pathway would be a teacher residency pathway. That's where you're paired with a mentor teacher for the course of 1 year, and they gradually release responsibility to you over the course of that year. So you might start out observing in their classroom, then you might lead an activity, then you might lead a whole lesson, then a whole day, then a whole week, et cetera, to the place where you feel really comfortable with taking on a classroom of your own. And then finally, there's a teacher intern pathway where you immediately become a teacher of record, and at the same time, you do your credentialing coursework. So, meaning that you plan, you teach, you grade, you communicate with families, you do everything a teacher does, and at the same time, you're working on your credentialing coursework. I'm going to briefly talk about two of our residency pathways and then our two teacher intern pathways. So our two teacher residency partners, one of them is the Teacher College of San Joaquin, that's TCSJ, and then the other is the Alder Graduate School of Education. So you'll see the credentials they offer. Both of them offer multiple subject credentials. Both of them offer single subject credentials. Both of them offer special education credentials. Alder only offers mild to moderate, but TCSJ also offers extensive support needs and a dual credential. You'll see slight differences. TCSJ, you're typically with a mentor teacher 3 days per week. With Alder, you're with them usually 4 days per week. With TCSJ, your classes are virtual in the evening, 2 evenings per week. And then Alder has a day-long seminar that happens in person at the Alameda County Office of Education in Hayward. Both of these programs are 1 year programs. You'll see the cost of the programs right there. TCSJ is about 13,500 and Alder is about $25,000. You also receive stipends as a part of this program. So historically, for the past couple of years, TCSJ's stipend has been about $26,000, and Alder's stipend has been about $45,000. And so that stipend can be either used to offset the tuition cost, or you can use it to live off of and then find different sources for tuition assistance, right? Grants, loans, scholarships, that sort of thing. With Alder, since it's all 5 days of the week, you won't be able to work part-time with that. But with TCSJ, um, since you're not with your mentor teacher every day, you could also be working part-time those days that you're not with them. Some people ask, well, is there a master's degree option included? With Alder, the master's degree is included within the 1 year and within the cost of the program. And then with TCSJ, it would be for an additional cost. I believe it's about an additional $6,000 or so, and additional time of about 6 months or so. So those are our residency programs. These ones right here are our intern programs. So the intern programs, again, you're immediately a teacher of record. So you're simultaneously applying to teaching jobs and applying to the credential programs, and at the same time trying to get both of those to work out. So the Reach University program, they offer multiple subject credentials and single subject credentials, but not special education credentials. And the San Diego County program offers PK through 3 credentials, deaf and hard of hearing credentials, and multiple special education credentials. For this program, you need to be, for both of these partners, you need to be a teacher of record. The coursework is both virtual and in the evenings typically. Reach is typically 1 3 to 4 hour class per week, and San Diego is typically 2 2 hour classes per week. These programs, since you are a teacher of record and you're working full time typically, they do take a little bit longer. So they are 2 year programs. In terms of the cost of the program, they're typically between $13,000 and $14,000. But you'll see here that the maximum that you would pay as a participant if you got accepted to the ACOE program is $6,000. So ACOE is trying to build up the next pipeline of teachers. And so that's really what we're trying to do here is to offer that tuition assistance to be able to do that. And then in some districts, depending on the district, Oakland being one of them, historically for the past couple of years, the cost has actually been as low as $1,000 for someone to complete an intern program. In terms of additional support, you would also receive PD, professional development at the Alameda County Office of Education in person in Hayward, 6 to 7 times per year. You would also have a coach who would come to your classroom, observe you teach, give you feedback, help you in your growth once every couple of weeks. San Diego County does not offer a master's degree. The Reach University program does offer a master's degree. It's for an additional $1,500 or so, and the time is an additional 3 months of coursework. Okay. So really, in terms of the support that I offer one-to-one counseling sessions, subject matter requirement support. So that's something called the CSET exams or coursework evaluation, transcript evaluation, access to online test prep, and really helping you apply for these credential programs. If you're at all interested, please make sure to fill out the inquiry form there and feel free to join one of my teacher pathways office hours. You can view the calendar there. Okay. And in terms of upcoming events, as I mentioned, we have teacher pathways office hours that I host. There are educator info sessions that Juan and Ashley typically host. Um, we also have power hour sessions, which are to support with that Code SP exam for the para exam. Application support sessions, whether that's for job applications or program applications, the Project Para programs, and the BA Advancement program. And those are all the links to support with all of those. In terms of the grants and stipend opportunities, I think we talked a little bit about those already, but just to name that those opportunities are available also again in credential programs. And then just as we're kind of starting to wrap up here and before moving into breakout rooms, we want to let you know this QR code here so you can point your phone up, you can scan that QR code, and that is our path inquiry form. If you fill that out, it'll connect you to us, and then from there we can kind of meet with you, give you next steps as to um, what you could do next to enter the field of education.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah,
So
thanks, Carla.
we know that's a lot of information, and we are going to share these slides out with you, just so that you have it as a resource after the breakout rooms. The breakout rooms are open, but I do before you are actually allowed to self-select yourself into these breakout rooms. Um, so I'm going to go over what these breakout rooms might entail. If you are interested in Project Para, there's going to be a general questions, kind of like maybe what it entails, what a day of a participant might look like in Project Para in that room. If you're interested in BA advancement, whether it's the Reach, Advance, or maybe some questions about the classified grants or any of the grant opportunities, feel free to jump into the BA advancement. If you are interested in pre-credential with Mark, you can go into the pre-credential breakout room if you want to learn more about the residency or the intern route, or maybe do I qualify based on like my bachelor's degree. If you have any other general questions that aren't in these breakout rooms, feel free to stay here. One of our team members will actually stay here for just other general questions. If you are interested in a little about each one, feel free to jump into others. I would suggest, though, if you are interested in a little bit of all of them, definitely fill out our interest form. That way you can get a one-on-one with either Juan or Ashley, and they can kind of go a little bit more in depth about all of our programs here. Thank you for that question. If you are able to, feel free. We're going to give a couple minutes here, maybe 2 minutes to jump into a breakout room. If you need help and you're not able to do so, feel free to let myself, Miriam know, and we can definitely put you into the breakout room.
And I'm going to stop the recording in just a moment. But wow, thank you so much to the Alameda County Office of Education Pathways team for sharing all this great information. I'm really impressed by all the supports that you are offering to future educators in the community. Thanks for attending. Thanks for watching. I'm going to stop the recording, then we can go on with the breakout rooms.